Creations, and I want to welcome everybody to my garage crafting lair. I'm sorry you can't see me, which I'm not the star of the show. The craft is. Um, anyway, we're going to be making a love notes Valentine's Day out of this adorable sign here. So let me do something. Here we go. Make sure I can see the comments is what I wanted to say. And not hear that god-awful laugh. So anyway, so what we're going to do, this is about a 9.5 by 9.5 inch sign. It's got a wood frame around it. It has, this is like a plush textured heart, and it's got little clothespins on it on a jute string, and it just says love notes. I like simplicity in my signs, and so that's why I really like this one. So, and I say that a lot, and I say, okay, a lot, and I apologize for that. So with this sign, tonight we're going to be using, this is a 14 inch, and this is elevated. This is an elevated wreath form. I get these at Craft Outlet. I love them, okay? It's the same size around as a Dollar Tree wreath form. You could use one of those. It really doesn't make a difference. And tonight we're going to be putting it together with these ties right here. I buy the ties in a length of rope, and it's called garland rope, okay? I get them on Craft Outlet. I cut a 12-inch piece off for each tie that I'm going to put on my frame, all right? So tonight we're going to use a burlap color. We're only going to be putting, 12 ties on this wreath frame, only 12. So what I'm doing is coming up around the section here. There's 6 sections, and I'm just going to twist it. Then I'm going to go push both of these right back and under, and I'm going to pull it up, okay? And I'm going to do this on each one, and I'm just going around this one ring right here in the top. So I pull it up to snug, crisscross it, put it over and back under that ring, and just, I don't twist it again. Hi Dawn, how are you this evening? I'm doing wonderful. Did everyone have a Merry Christmas? I hope you guys did. So I'm going to do this all the way to the 6 brackets. And we're going to do a different way of putting mesh in these 12 ties tonight. It's something I do a lot. And this is going to be my style of this wreath. This Valentine's is primitive. So with primitive, I'm doing like the natural jute, and I'm using a red and natural jute colored mesh that came from Hobby Lobby to go along with this. They had the mesh I'll show you in just a minute. Hi Connie. And I love it. I wish I'd have thought that I was going to like it so well, and I would have bought more. They may still have it. They may have put it in their regular stuff. I don't know. I haven't been to Hobby Lobby. Oh, great. Okay. So we've got our ties in the center. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these in half. I only cut them to 12 inches. And this time you have the one on the outside and the one next to it. I'm going to go to the one next to it, right in between these 2 ties I put on, and I'm just going to pull it real taut, and I'm going to hold it, and while I'm holding that tie, I'm twisting the frame, and that's going to tighten that tie up for you. Then I'll go to the next one, and I'll do the same thing right in between these two brackets and where we put those ties on. I just pull it real taut, hold it, twist the bracket 2 or 3 times. Okay? Real simple. Doesn't take long. And like I said, there's only going to be 12 ties. So we had a really nice Christmas. Me and my husband and some neighbors got together. Well, hello, Sugar Pepper. Hi, Barbara. And we enjoyed ourselves. They weren't going out of town and we weren't either. Does anyone have big New Year's plans? We're going to stay in. My little puppy's going to have surgery tomorrow. And so I have to have him there at in between 7 and 7:30. So that will wait for him to get out. Just stay home. Okay. Going to put this last one on. Okay. Like so. So now we have 6 on the inside and 6 on the outside. So let's go ahead and just open the 6 ties on the outside. And like I said, this is a 14-inch elevated wreath form. You could use this same method on a Dollar Tree form also. Okay? So let me show you the mesh we're going to use tonight. So this is the mesh here that I got at Hobby Lobby. This reminds me of a fabric mesh. It's the tan and the red, like a buffalo check. Love it. And then I'm using just a regular natural poly jute. Each one of these meshes was cut to 22 inches. Oh, well, thanks, Barbara. Always stay home on New Year's, yeah. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to start, it doesn't really matter which one we start with. So I'm going to start with this red and khaki color. And all I'm going to do is roll this end down a couple of times. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to roll this end down a couple. And this is what I call a messy ruffle. Someone just calls it a ruffle. Then I'm just going to walk these fingers up, okay? And then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to lay this ruffle going long ways, okay? And I'm just going to cinch it down tight and twist it. Now I'm going to do the same technique. I'm going to roll this under 2 times. Same way here. I'm going to walk my fingers up. It doesn't matter if it's, the thing of a messy ruffle is that it's not a tight, real pretty ruffle. So this time I'm going to put my ruffle going backwards and forth right on top of it. So each tie is going to get 2 pieces of mesh. Okay? So does it only cover everything really well? It's going to cover going around. So as we go around it, I'm going to alternate which one goes on the top and which one goes on the bottom. I hear you, Connie. So rolling it twice. 1, 2. And then push them together. This one's going to go around. Let me get that tie right there. I'm still waiting on my house to get boosted so that the view will get better. Okay, so this time the khaki will go on the bottom and this one will go on the top. Just rolling it a couple, stretching it out. Fabric mesh likes to stick to itself, but this isn't as bad as some of them I've seen. And this one's going to go up and down. If you wanted it even fuller, you could not just use 12 ties. You could add some more ties if you wanted to. To me, this seems to be enough, especially by the time we get some ribbons and all on here. Thank you. Thank you very much, Miss Sugar Pepper. If you find this is too much for you to like to have out to roll it, put something heavy on it. Especially those pieces that are close to the end of the roll. Is your favorite? Oh, mine too. It's supposed to be big this year, Connie. It's supposed to be big. So I've got like a little rock that I got at the Dollar Tree here. You can lay it on it. Curl it twice. You can start walking it up. Move your rock. Push it together. And do it that way also. Sometimes that helps. I found the sign we're going to use tonight, of all places. I found this at the Dollar Tree, guys. Nice heavy wood sign. Not too heavy. Perfect for a wreath. Okay. I love using jute mesh. It's my favorite mesh to use. And fabric mesh would be my next. Fabric mesh is a lot softer, but it sometimes if you're using a lot of embellishments, it doesn't hold the weight of it very well. It does really well with sublimated aluminum signs. This mesh I'm using tonight was leftover mesh. I combined 2 or 3 different pieces of the same mesh to get enough to make this wreath. And that's another reason I decided to put 12 ties instead of going with more. And like I said, I cut these to 22 inches. These would have been fine cut to 20 inches. We're going to use some unique ways we're going to use our ribbon tonight. I'm going to do it a little different. Looking good. This is our last set of mesh to go in around the outside. We're going to kick back for the New Year's, and then I'm going to take a little vacation after the first of the year. I'm actually going to go out of town. Okay, so that's what it's looking like with all of our mesh around the outside. And so now I'm just sort of going to push this a little bit to the out, and I'm just going to open our ties on the inside, guys. Okay. And let's start with, let's just do the poly jute on the bottom. Push it together. I'm going to go around just like I did, but I'm pulling these up so that it butts up against each other just like you would on a regular ruffle wreath. Let's do our next one. This is mostly the monotonous stuff when it's over and over again. And I'm just going to lay this one just like I did going around the other side, the outside part. Make sure everything's pulled up and butted up, guys. And keep boogieing. Get back over here. There we go. Have to sort of pull it. So what are some of you guys' New Year's resolutions? I could make some of the same ones I do year after year, but I usually end up breaking those, like, you know, exercising. I break that every year. Dieting, I break that every year. Diet. I think instead of me saying diet, I think this year I'll say eat healthier. I'm more apt to stay on that game plan than I am as far as dieting. There you go. Yeah. I would like to be able to say I could see that our world would take a different change in the way that it's going. And I'll do my part if it helps. Yeah, and staying prayed up is awesome. Okay. Lost it there for a minute. Silver sneakers. Yeah. I like my sneakers. Okay. Yep, it's this one this time. I have to look. I guess better health for my husband would be nice. These colors are very pretty together. Nice and fluffy with just 12 ties, guys. But we're using some really nice mesh. Make sure you pull the bottom just like you would with a normal ruffle. Thank you. Dilmon. Oh, Monica. I should have remembered that, but I didn't until I seen that. How are you? Can y'all hear my fan running in the background? I meant to turn that sucker off. Okay, last set of ribbons going, mesh is going in, guys. Pull them up on the sides, on each side, so that they'll butt up with those going around it. And on the outside. And like I said, this is going to be primitive. Where did I put that sucker? Right there I did. Yeah. Telling you. Making sure I didn't look like I had one under that one. Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to make sure I've got them all pulled up, going around it. And I've got a little straggler. Oh, it come right out. Good deal. Okay. Now you can see how full that is, going all the way around. It's very full. If you see something, just go ahead and move these like curls on the ends of them, of that messy ruffles. Like so. Okay, let's get our sign ready. This is our sign. Love note. You can put a little note right there. Well, hi, Lordies. These open and close. I just thought this was the cutest sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my stapler out, and I'm going to get 4 pipe cleaners. And I'm going to put a little glue in each corner and be very careful. I burnt the dickens out of myself on a live the other night. And I'm just going to come over here, hold your little ears, guys, and I'm going to staple that while it's got the glue and is wet, so it pushes it on down in there. There we go. Sorry if that's loud. I wanted to make sure y'all saw how I did this. And then I just take it and peel it's cooled off by now, and I just peel it off. Tack it down. Take a little bit more glue, put it right over the staples. And I go ahead and twist it. Hi, Carolyn. How are you tonight? Nice to see you. Okay. So now let's just sort of set that right there. And I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with the ribbon, so I pulled some mini ribbon. And I know I don't want to use the black. We're making this primitive. So let's do this. Let's use some of this. I had a big roll and I just didn't have a lot left. And when I don't, I take it off my spool. I think I'm going to use some reds right there. I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I'm going to use some burlap and red. And we're going to use a little bit of 1.5. I mean 2.5. Isn't that pretty? And we're going to use a little bit of this 2.5. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to take the 1.5 inch ribbon and we're basically going to set it to the side. And I'm going to take my ribbon board. This is my own ribbon board. My husband cut these and rounded the edges and I just painted them. I didn't buy them from anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to do 6 pieces of each ribbon. And I just cut it off. I used a piece of cardboard folded over and over and then duct taped around it to do this same purpose for a very long time until we had some boards left over around our house that were thin enough. I'm going to fold them in half, and I'm going to cut from the folded side to the wired side to make a dovetail. I'm going to line them up at the other end also. Had some hot glue on my finger and it kept sticking to it. There. That's why it wasn't looking even. Okay. Put them all on the right side. Okay. So that's all we're going to be using of that. And it's got a splice in it. Go figure. This is 12 inches. So this one does 12-inch ribbons. So this is going to be a 12-inch ribbons that we're putting into this. And I like the feel of these ribbons because they feel organic. Go. So that's all we're going to use of the 2.5-inch ribbons. And I'll move my bow maker. I use it for everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one 2.5-inch ribbon, fold it in half to find my center, and to come in, and I'm just putting one in each tie. And then I'm just going to bring it out to the front, like so. Okay? I'm going to repeat it with another one. Fold it in half. Ruffle it up the middle. Go to the next one. Twist it in there. With this ribbon, the wire is not exactly on the side. It's on where the burlap and the fabric come to meet each other. It's really neat. I really like it. And it's getting to where you can find that ribbon just about anywhere. When my husband made my ribbon boards, he made me 11, 12, 13, 14. And I got a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 ribbon boards. And he made them, like I said, out of scrap lumber. And I just painted them whatever colors of paint I had. Here, I had to put lots of coats on them. There's no rule when you're wreathing that says you have to use a 1.5 and a 2.5-inch ribbon. Sometimes I'm known to use all 1.5-inch ribbons. I really love that look. And then sometimes I'll use just 2.5-inch ribbons. We are going to be putting some 1.5-inch ribbons in here, but in just a different way. So this is the last ribbon going around the outside. I wish I did make them, but I don't. The other ones that I seen that were really neat, that you had one size on one side and one on the other side, I think it's Hot Mesh Mom makes them. And I know I've heard other people talk how well they like those. Shoot, girl, I had to beg for those. May talk to my husband, but then he'd want a cut of the money. The same way on the top up here, I'm just pulling these to the outside because our sign's pretty substantial, 9.5 by 9.5. You could call this primitive Valentines, rustic Valentines, farmhouse Valentines, but to me it leans more towards primitive. Because it's more organic and got the got more organic colors and materials also. Flip that over. I'm not cutting these ties off yet, and I probably won't, even if they're a little long. I'll just roll them backwards. These ribbons came, this one right here came from Walmart during their Christmas. This ribbon here also came from Walmart during Christmas. Now I know that Craft Outlet has these ribbons right here. Yes, they did. They did have some. And what I look, especially during Christmas times, and I did last year, was that I found a lot of ribbons that were year-round ribbons like these. So when I find them, that I can use them for, I'll cut too many of each one. So does that mean I missed one? Nope. So I use them for Valentine's, for Christmas, for traditional Christmas, for Valentine's, and then I also use them for 4th of July, for primitive 4th of July. And ribbons have gone up. Substantial. Okay. So that's what it looks like with just the few ribbons that we put on it. And I think that's awesome. So we may just slip these in the bow. I'm going to leave them over there so I'll be able to see them. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put our sign on. And what I'm going to use to help me put it on, and y'all probably seen it in my videos, is I use a weaving needle. You can get them in all sizes, and this just because I put mine through the mesh also. So, yes they are. They're very versatile. So let's see. I'm going to put this mainly over here to the side. Perfect. I may try to angle. Let's see if I can angle. No, I think I had it perfect to begin with. Okay. Since I won't be putting anything in these here, I'm just going to twist them and bend them over on these three right here. Just twisting them and bending them over. Making sure I pull it out to the outside. That. I'm going to pull that one more. I'm going to put it right there. So I'll usually start on one corner and I'll go all the way down through the mesh. And I'll show you how I attach it to my back in just a second. Let me get all of these pulled through and I'll show you how I do that. Let's go up here to this one. Make sure I got the mesh. And the last one, and I'll flip it over and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Didn't like how that one went in. So I'm going to pull it out and do it again. There. Okay. So I'm just going to hold my sign and I'm going to flip it over. Okay. So now then you can see all four of these that I put through. So right here at the top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under this frame right here. And what I like about it is that, and it's just going to pull it. I don't want to pull it snug. I'll feel underneath it. Then I'm going to push it through again, and then I come back up under it. And what that does is tie like a little knot in it. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go up and under, over and under the frame. Make sure that I pull on it a little bit, but not too snug. And I have a bar here, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to do the same thing and then go up and under it and tie that one. And I just repeat this all the way around it. Sometimes it gets bent. That's why I'm not very good about going in blind where I can't see it. So I turn mine over, it beats me standing on my head. And then the last one. And then I just flip it back over. You see, and it's on there good and tight, but we didn't sink this mesh down in there real hard. It looks like this, and I hold on to the frame and I just pull on it a little bit, and that loosens it up just enough where it needs to be. Okay, so this is what it's looking like with our sign on it. See how that sign just puts it all together a lot? Okay, so now we're going to make us a bow. Then we're going to put the bow on, and we're going to add some ribbon in a different style. I needed a sip of water. Okay. So let's make us a pretty flowing but simple bow. Okay, let's do this burlap, and we're going to make about a, let's see how much that is, 14-inch tail. So I've got an easy bow maker here. I just squish it together, twist it, and bring that ribbon out towards me. I pull out quite a bit of ribbon, and then we're going to make a, let's go ahead and make a 7-inch loop. Okay, twist it. I'm going to pull this down towards me. 7-inch loop. Let's go ahead and twist it. Let's put this one up here at the top. Let's do another 7 loop. We're going to twist it, and we're going to bring this one up at the top. And what we're doing basically is just making an X. Okay? 2 loops, meaning there's 2 loops on each side. The key for me when I make a bow, and what makes it easier for me is I keep my loops fluffed, okay, and I keep them in place. Come down here, let's cut that off. So we're going to change this one up a little bit. And I just wanted to bring in just a little bit more organic. So I want to bring in some green gingham. This is a green and cream gingham. It doesn't say it has to be all red. So what I'm going to do, about the same 14 inches, I'm going to twist this, bring it down in front of me, pull me some ribbon out, and I'm going to make this one a 6.5 inch loop. I'm going to come down a 1/2 inch, okay? And I'm just going to put 1 loop on each side, and I'm going to lay it right in between them. Squish it down, come on out. You're not going to be able to see a lot of this, but it is going to give it a little bit more of an organic look. I have this. This is the primitive, the burgundy and red and cream. I had some left over. So about the same, 13, 14 inch tail. Thank you. Bring it down in front of us. Let me see if I can get back this way some, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So this one's going to go down to a 6-inch. It's a little bit big, to a 6-inch, and I'm just going to pull it down here the direction the tail is going. This is going to be a 6-inch. We're going to twist it. We're going to do 2 loops with this one. You can measure off the loop that's already there, like so. Then take it and pull it up. You can do it the same way here. Measure it off of that one, press it down in there, and pull it down. I'm always holding my fingers in the center on either side. Okay, and I'm going to cut that off. And I still have a little bit left. That's a good deal. So my loops are still fluffed. They're still in place. So now I'm wanting to throw in a little bit of, I got this year before last at Walmart, guys. And I bought a bunch of it. And it's really nice canvas. I was hoping they would have more this year, but I didn't see any. So we're going to bring this one down to a 5.5. And this one's going to go in the center, just like that green one. Mash it down. Pull it down forward. Now I'm going to bring in, see this is new this year, guys, and it's really made a hit. People are wanting to put 5/8, 7/8, half-inch ribbons, and it's going to be real popular this year. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add just a little black and white. I could have chose just to add a little red. And I'm going to bring this down too. This is the same on both sides. You do not have to. And I'm going to do this one. What did I do that last one at? Oh, a 5. So let's do this one at about a 4. And I'm just going to put 2 little loops in it. Just to add something different. Cut it off. I'm going to get me 2 pipe cleaners. I'm going to twist them together. Fold them in half. Yeah, did you? Yeah. I'm going to take my 2 fingers and I'm just going to push up on my ribbon to get it all to where I can get my fingers up and under there. So then I'm going to take my pointer in middle, bring my thumb over the top, and I'm just going to lift up on it. I'm not grabbing it tight or anything, and I'm going to put 1 of the pipe cleaners on one side and 1 on the other. And they're going to fall through my fingers. Then I'm just going to pull real tight, come around here, start a twist, and I'm going to twist my bow. As you can tell, as it gets tighter, is that your loops are going to stand up more. Okay? And I only twist no more than 4 times, because the tighter you twist, the more you twist, what's going to happen is you're going to tighten the wire in your pipe cleaner and you can break it. Okay? So all I'm doing is, these are all in place already. They're all fluff. Don't really have nothing to do. Okay? But we are going to do one thing. I'm going to take a piece. And I didn't even put any of this in there. And I wanted to. That's okay. We'll put it in the center. I'm just going to fold it in half, guys. Going to fold it in half. And I'm going to come down here through all of these ribbons, maybe. And I'm going to come out to the back, right in the middle of my pipe cleaner. I'm going to take it, tie it in a knot, and I'm going to pull real snug. Cut it off. Twist my pipe cleaner around it. Then what I'm going to do is pull these loops to make sure I'm just pulling them, because I want to make sure that they didn't get kinked. And pull your ribbons out front. Okay, and now let's put it up. There's our little bow. I love using 1.5 inch ribbons. And I'm going to come up here to the top. I like to take my handy dandy weaving needle again. Make sure you're there to tie it onto your wires. I get it started. Then I grab 2 loops, or whichever ones, but I grab my loops. Turned out to be a pretty bow. Doing it the same way as I did my sign. Don't pull it way down in there, but you want to get it tight. Thank you. Okay, so the bow is where it should be. Well, this loop sort of got janky. There we go. And we're gonna leave these long. I'm just gonna go through, dovetailing them, cutting them from the folded side to the wired side. And I'm just on this little ribbon, I'm just doing a little slant cut on it. And we're going to add just a couple of more ribbons. Whoops, I just really slanted cut that one. There we go. So that's what it looks like with the bow on it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's take some of this primitive ribbon. The primitive gingham. Okay, I'm going to cut a piece about, let's say 24 inches long. I'm going to find my center right here. Okay, I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to take this one and this one and cross them over. Then I'm going to take my center and I'm going to push it backwards. I don't know if you can see me. I'm going to push it backwards and move it to where this comes. Might be easier if I hold it. I'm going to bring this one down behind it pull a loop up here. I didn't get it very straight. Okay, then all you do, I like to lay mine down because my thumbs don't work too good. Okay, let's start over. Find your center. Crisscross your ribbon. Okay, at whatever size you want your loops to be. Bring it over, lay it in the back of it, set it down, and then ruffle it right up the center. And you're making like a little faux bow. Just a little bow. It's going to have two short tails. And then what I'm going to do is use my tie here. Put it in the center of it. Let me tie it in and I'll show you. And I'll show you a different way you can do them too. Whichever way. And we should have went ahead and dovetailed them and I didn't. Let me lean that back. So all I did was made a little bow to go in some of these ties. Okay. So if you take your bow maker and you measure out a 6-inch tail, you twist it, you come over here and do a 3-inch loop, you twist it, come over here, do a 3-inch loop, push it down and pull it out, measure it off. You can pull it to this side and measure it off at 6 inches. Okay, then all you've got to do is pick it up, come over here. I'm going to come over here to the side and I'm going to put one in. This one's tails are a little bit longer. I can trim it off. I tie it in, I fluff my loops. You can leave your tails longer or shorter. And you've got another little faux bow. Okay, so now that we didn't use this ribbon, let's make us a couple of these and put some in it. So 6-inch tails, twist, bring it forward, 3-inch loop, twist. You can make the loop as big as you want, depending on the size of your wreath or how you want it to look to you. Okay, cut it off. Just pick it up. And let's place this one somewhere. Let's place it right down here, guys. Twist it, bend my little tie backwards. Now I won't put one in every tie. I'll probably put one more of these red ones right over here to the side, and that's all that this wreath is going to need. So let's make another one right quick. 6-inch. Three-inch. Pull it down. Let's put one right over here. Pull it to the back. I take my ribbon that I underneath it, Make sure it's pulled out forwards again. Let's cut them off. Straighten up our little loops. Cut them off. And there we have it, guys. We've got our little faux bows around the outside. Okay. I call them faux bows. They're a little bow. And that's what we've got for tonight. A little primitive Valentine's. So, I want to thank you all for stepping on, dropping by, blessing my channel and everything. And I hope to see y'all here next Wednesday. Live every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Central on YouTube. And Mondays and Saturday nights at 7 o'clock Central over on Facebook. So, I'll see you next time. God bless, and y'all take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.